Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Domas, and I wanted to welcome you if it's your first time here. Um, I wanted to talk about MF Doom today, but I don't know, there's some other things that came up that kind of popped into my head. I just had a chat with Noelle. Hey, Noelle. And she's a lovely friend from London. We met in London, and our relationship through the distance continues with phone chats. And it's so amazing to have friends, to have people that appreciate you. And I appreciate you all who are coming onto this channel and commenting and subscribing. I really am thankful to you. And we talked with Noelle about being at work and kind of giving ourselves so much shit in our heads that it doesn't matter. Like, we work hard, we do our job as best as we can, and we still give ourselves so much crap about everything. About nobody else gives us crap. We give ourselves crap. And that's the most sad thing, and that's the thing that actually gives us the most shine. So if you do that to yourself, then you're your own worst critic. And well done, because that's what keeps you at the top, that's what keeps you at your top. And well done for doing that, because it's not easy to live with a head like yours. It's sometimes I feel like some people can just go about their days, their lives, without really kind of thinking about it. They're not, I don't think they eat themselves up that much. They wait for others to eat them up. And I guess that's okay as well. But once you are your own worst enemy, then yeah, when the voice in the head goes really like loud and it starts telling you all kinds of things, it's quite tough. It's quite tough when you're even afraid to be with yourself sometimes, when you're afraid to be on your own sometimes, and just let the mind speak. When you let the mind speak and you allow all those feelings in, it's not that bad. I'm reading a book about Carljung, the Red Book, and it's a tough read, but I think he goes into his psyche a lot, and he's talking with different parts of his psyche. So I might even read that book today a little bit more, because it really taps into something inside of me um that I'm looking for, that I'm constantly looking for. That book made me realize yesterday, when I was feeling a bit down, it made me realize that, I'm at the right place and at the right time. Perfect. I'm at the perfect place at the perfect time. Because my war, my battle is within myself. My search for true meaning is within myself. And it doesn't really matter what I do on the outside in terms of work, but as long as I'm challenging myself, all right. And I know that you guys, if you're anything like me and you're watching this, then you do that too. And, then you stop kind of comparing yourself to others, and you start to compare yourself to yourself. You start to look at things in perspective and think like, oh wow, like I actually pushed through a little bit. I actually went a bit further this time, and I'm doing better this time. So maybe I'll find myself eventually. Maybe it won't be at this job, maybe it'll be the next job, or it won't be this relationship, maybe it'll be the next. But sometimes changing those things around you doesn't really help. But once you start to look within and stop running away from yourself, that's when shit gets real, I think. That's when things start to make sense. You start to like integrate things in your own mind. You start to kind of, those eureka moments or those aha moments start to appear more, and those deja vu moments start to appear more, and you don't even know how or why, they just start to appear. And when when they start to appear, it's like, okay, so I am doing the right thing, I am doing the right thing, I am doing the right thing, and we need to give it to ourselves. If you're anything like me, I need to take my own advice. I need to big myself up. I need to look in the mirror and go like, you're doing great, you're doing amazing, you're doing great work. And I hope that you can allow yourself to do that. I hope that you can do that to yourself tomorrow, today, whenever. Stand in front of a mirror in the morning and just look and just thank yourself. Like, don't be afraid to look into your own eyes and be like, you know what, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of what you're doing, because it's really important. Because I think the reason why I would quit jobs, it was because I couldn't deal with myself. Like, it wasn't even the job. Like, I would quit because I couldn't deal with myself and my own brain. And if I am able to, and if I say, you know what, fuck it, let them fire me. If I do something wrong, let them fire me. But nobody's fired me ever. So why do I go about these things in my own head and continue to, beat myself up about things? Like, there's no reason why. So big yourself up, because you're doing great work and you're amazing, and good things are around the corner. And, you know, what you're working through now will be the best thing in the future for you. What you're going through now, like all of those dark and deep emotions, you just wait and see. In the future, it will be your future self. Like, we were talking about this, our future selves, like our past selves would look at us right now and think like, wow, I'm proud of this guy, I'm proud of this girl. But our now, when we're in the now, we're like, oh, it's nothing. What we're doing is nothing. It's like, no, it's a big step forward from where we were a year, 5 years, 10 years ago. So, and it's not really in the physical realm, it's more like in mental development and wisdom. It's quite incredible, I think. And why I wanted to talk about MF Doom was really like one of my best, like, people that I didn't personally know, but it really feels like through his music I got to know him personally. And he says he's creating all of these different characters. He says he's talking about, you know, Metal Face Doom and Victor Vaughn and King Ghidorah, and all of these different characters that he's creating, but he's at the same time saying so much from his own heart, and you can feel it. Like all of these different songs, and just the vibe of the guy. It was so genuine. And and when we look at some people that we like, you know we like them because what we see in them, what we like about them, we like the same thing in ourselves. But because we're looking out, we can't see ourselves. If you stand in front of a mirror, you can see yourself and you're like, oh, hello, you're here, you're doing a good job. But we don't do that. We tell others that they're doing great. We tell others that they're or we criticize others, but we criticize ourselves for the same thing. Or we want to be where those people are, and we criticize them for being there when we want to be there ourselves. So we got to look into that. And I think it's important to be aware of these things, these reflections, these projections that we do. But I wanted to thank you all for coming here and for listening. And if you have any thoughts or comments, then just jot them down in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed, then subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, like, share, do whatever you can. I would really appreciate it. But most of all, just love yourself. Love yourself this coming week, tomorrow, Monday. You know, it's not easy to be alive. That's why we're here. I think we're here to experience all of these emotions, all of these feelings, everything, and not block anything out. So if you can do that, then well done for you. And you know, every moment is amazing, every moment is special, every moment is necessary. So yeah, remember that, you know, next time you're going through a hard time, a hard death, you know, notice this thing in at work, you know, this kind of death moment, this like shame moment and death moment where you just kind of feel like you want to disappear, and then the next moment you rise from the ashes because you've died and you resurrect. And you know, it's amazing. So if you notice that, then do let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Love you all. Take care.